The Qatar Grand Prix is said to be the most difficult race for the drivers to pull through, with the intense heat causing dehydration for the drivers, some complaining on the radio that the seats being burning hot, with Logan Sargent even retiring from the Grand Prix as his health deteriorated to a point of dehydration that him staying on track was a liability of its own, to him and to other drivers on track. With Esteban Ocon throwing up in his helmet still continuing to race, Alex Albon, Lance Stroll struggling to get off the car post-race, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris and Max Verstappen visibly drained post-race at the Parc Fermé and at the cool-down room, George and Lando opening the helmet visor during the race on the pit lane and on the straights to get some fresh chill air to keep them cool, with Stroll even claiming that he was on the verge of passing out on the high-speed corners during the last laps, that how he finished the race was a complete blur, and not having any recollection of the last couple of laps. This put FIA under the radar and to take responsibility for the mistake. The races should be arranged in an order that A. It has to be efficient for the freight to conserve fuel and reduce the carbon footprint on the travel between the venues. B. Being considerate of the weather condition of the location that we race at. There is a reason why we race at Bahrain, Jeddah and Abu Dhabi at night and not during the day. Racing in countries that have very hot climate during summer should be pushed and placed during the colder side of the year so that issues like this compromising on the driver's health and welfare can be avoided. As F1 is pushing its way towards a greener way of racing and making the cars safer to race for the drivers, having these kind of incidents makes their initiative look counterproductive. F1 is the pinnacle of motorsports, so being on top of your game is important, and when you mess up, you will be scrutinized for it. The Qatar Grand Prix is pushed to later during the season for next year, but what I'm saying is, this shouldn't have happened in the first place. Drivers are anyways putting their life and body both on the line to give us fans the excitement and thrill of our favorite teams and drivers pushing each other for positions, podiums, poles, wins and championships. That's why they are getting paid the big bucks, and that's also the reason why when they underdeliver to the expectations of the team and the fans, they get sometimes brutally criticized for it. I still don't get anyone calling F1 as entertainment and not as a sport. It's not fiction, it's not a movie or a TV show. These guys out on the track are putting their life on the line. The toll that their body takes going into every single race weekend is nuts. They lose a huge chunk of their weight during a race weekend due to the physical demands of the sport. The G-force that they are pulling, accelerating, braking, turning into a corner is unimaginable. And doing that lap after lap for 10 to 16 plus corners for 100 plus laps during a Grand Prix weekend, driving fast yet managing tires, responding to the pit wall with changing modes on the steering, changing brake bias from corner to achieve the fastest lap. And when it starts raining or it gets steamingly hot out there, it gets 10 times harder for them. So anyone calling these guys' work as entertainment and has a problem with them getting paid the big bucks is unacceptable. Like Daniel Ricciardo once said, these guys are high performance athletes, and that they are. The fact that these guys who are fit enough to endure these kind of situations had suffered such a huge fatigue and illness is concerning and paints a very vague picture as to how difficult the conditions would have been during the race. FIA and F1 needs to look into their schedule, needs to prioritize the driver's welfare and safety first. It's a blessing that everyone's fine, because imagine if someone had fainted going through one of the high-speed corners. Yes, the track has gravel and plenty of runouts to slow them down, but it can only do so much under normal conditions. If the driver's foot is buried into the throttle, that would have made minimal to no effect then. That kind of a high-speed crash onto the barriers or onto another car could seriously put the drivers' lives at risk. I hope FIA, F1 does something about it to make sure that something like this never happens again. And I hope GPDA would have passed their concern about the same to the F1 governing body. We saw Logan Sargent struggle to bring the car into the pits and Fernando running wide coming back onto the track in an unsafe manner, which caused for Charles Leclerc to suddenly get on the brakes. I feel like Fernando's incident could also be linked with the severe heat that he was complaining about on the radio of the seat being burning hot. The heat inside the survival cell with the racing suit could have made it suffocating for Alonso. That could have caused for the lack of focus and distraction during the race, causing the incident. So yes guys, with that being said, I would like to wrap up this video. Let me know in the comments on your thoughts about the incident and the issue. I'm curious to know your take and thoughts on it as well. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Autobahncast YouTube channel and also hit that bell icon and turn on all notifications so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. It's me, your boy Autobahncast aka Vinesh, and I'm out. Love you guys, stay safe, peace.